The day began like any other for Officer Daniel Hayes, a man known for his calm mind and steady leadership. But everything changed the moment he saw his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, walk toward him outside the school gates. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't running to him. She walked slowly, stiffly, wincing at every step. Her eyes were red, her face pale, and her small hands trembled as she reached for him. Daniel's heart tightened. Something was terribly wrong. "Sweetheart," he asked gently, kneeling down. Lily didn't answer. She looked down, lips quivering, as though a storm of fear was trapped inside her tiny chest. Daniel lifted her chin softly. "Look at Daddy." "What happened?" Her voice was barely a whisper. "Daddy, I can't sit." Daniel felt a chill run through him. "Why, baby? Who hurt you?" Lily took a shaky breath, her eyes filling. She leaned closer and whispered the 6 words that made Daniel's world collapse. It was the teacher, Daddy. Everything inside him froze. He kept his voice low, fighting the rage rising in him. "Which teacher?" "Mr. Clark," she said, trembling harder. Daniel had heard of Mr. Clark, the new strict teacher the school praised for his discipline. Parents didn't know him well, but kids seemed uneasy around him. Daniel gently lifted the side of Lily's dress, just enough to check. What he saw nearly broke him. Angry red marks stretched across her skin, fresh, swollen stripes clearly made by something thin and hard. No accident, no misunderstanding. Someone had beaten his child. Daniel's jaw tightened until it hurt. "Who else knows about this?" Lily's voice cracked. "He said if I told anyone, he'd lock me in the dark room." Something inside Daniel snapped. He placed her carefully in the car, wrapped her in her blanket, and kissed her forehead. "Daddy's here now. I won't let anything happen to you again." Lily grabbed his hand weakly. "Daddy, there are other kids." Daniel froze. "What do you mean? They cry too," she whispered. "He tells them not to tell." That was the moment Daniel became more than a father. He became a storm. He grabbed his radio. "This is Officer Hayes. Immediate units to Jefferson Elementary. Child assault by staff. Send everything." Sirens filled the air within minutes. 30 patrol cars swarmed the school. Officers jumped out, forming a perimeter. Parents stopped. Teachers looked on in shock. Everyone knew something serious had occurred. Daniel marched straight inside. The principal hurried toward him, confused. "Officer Hayes, what is going on?" Daniel didn't slow down. "Where is he?" "Who?" "Mr. Clark." The principal stumbled, frightened by the ice in Daniel's voice. "He should be in class." Daniel didn't wait. He pushed through the hallways until he reached the classroom. Without hesitation, he kicked the door open. Students gasped. "Mr. Clark" looked up, startled. "Officer Hayes, what is this?" "Step away from the children," Daniel commanded. Mr. Clark straightened, feigning innocence. "Excuse me, I said step away," Daniel roared, startling everyone in the room. Mr. Clark raised his hands slightly. "You need to calm down and tell me what." "My daughter," Daniel growled. "Lily. She came home with marks across her body. Fresh bruises. She said you did it." Mr. Clark blinked, then scoffed. "Children lie all the time." Daniel stepped closer, eyes burning. "My daughter doesn't lie. And you threatened her." A muscle twitched in Mr. Clark's jaw. "It was enough. You're under arrest." Mr. Clark tried to run, but officers grabbed him, cuffing him as students were escorted out. He yelled, cursed, claimed innocence, but nothing could erase the truth written in the bruises on Lily's body. Outside, chaos erupted. Media vans arrived. Parents demanded answers. Children cried. But Daniel returned to his squad car, where Lily sat hugging her stuffed rabbit. Her voice was tiny. "Is he gone?" "Yes, sweetheart," Daniel whispered. "He can't hurt you ever again." Lily looked up, her fear softening. "Will he hurt other kids?" "Not anymore." Daniel's wife, Emily, arrived moments later. She ran to Lily, tears streaming as she held their daughter tightly, whispering apologies and comfort. Daniel watched them, feeling a mixture of relief and rage swirl inside him. By evening, officers searched the school and discovered a locked room behind the gym. Inside were objects that never belonged in a school, a notebook with children's names, disturbing notes, drawings of crying kids. Evidence of months, maybe years, of abuse. Lily's voice had opened the door that saved every child trapped in silence. That night, after full statements were taken, after social workers offered support, after the district promised sweeping reforms, Daniel carried Lily to bed. She held his hand tightly. "Daddy, did I do something good?" Daniel felt tears rise for the first time that day. "You did something brave, something no one else could. You saved others." She smiled softly, the first real smile he had seen since the morning. "Will you stay with me?" "All night," he whispered. "And every night you need me." As Lily slept, peace finally settling in her breath, Daniel stood guard at her door. The house was quiet, the porch light soft. He knew that no matter how many years passed, he would never forget the moment his daughter whispered, "It was the teacher." Because that was the day a child's voice shook an entire city. That was the day a father learned courage doesn't always wear a badge, it sometimes trembles in the voice of a child who dares to speak the truth. And that truth saved lives.